Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think there's a lot of similarities and differences. Coach Saban was very old school. Coach DeBoer is kind of new generation, kind of the new style where football's kind of going in the future. So, I thought both were great coaches. Coach DeBoer did a very good job, under the circumstances of coming under Coach Saban. It's really hard to step into such a successful, already traditional, good program and, take over. Obviously, we didn't have the best results we had, but, we still had a winning season, still did good. So, I think it was a successful first season for Coach DeBoer.
There's some times where some fans might seem like he's kind of a reserved guy. Are there any of those moments where he's fiery at practice?
Yeah, 100%. He definitely, when it's time to be said, he always says something. And, it's not that he's reserved. He just, he doesn't show his emotion as much maybe. But, we know he means business, and he always gives great coaching points when time's pushed. Yeah, so Justice, we played together on offense, so I know more about Justice, and he's a great player, great running back, solid head on his shoulders. He's always doing extra stuff in the weight room or on the field and something like that. So I think he'll definitely be a star.
Growing up, were you the bigger athlete? Getting on top of people? How did you end up in high school?
Yeah, definitely. So I was always bigger than anybody really around, not even my grade, but area. When I went to my high school was 7th through 12th grade. When I was in 7th grade, I was still bigger than a lot of the seniors and stuff like that. So, it's kind of, you just got to kind of endure that role. I always try to hang out with maybe older people just so I didn't look like I was always hanging out with little kids or something like that. And, I kind of grew into that role. I played quarterback all throughout high school. I got recruited as a quarterback, tight end, defensive end, and stuff like that. So mainly like an athlete role. And, I thought for my best chance to get to the NFL was definitely playing tight end, so here I am. I do think the NIL thing's kind of getting a little out of hand. I was in the portal. I got NIL money, but I think it's kind of getting away from the main focus of football. There's people making too much money. It's kind of just how do you look at somebody getting more money and then, you're playing more or so on and so forth. So I think I think it's leveling the playing field, but there still needs to be a lot more restrictions than there are now. Yeah, so my dad was a power lifter, high state championship class and stuff like that. He played football at UConn, so when I go home, that's what we kind of do as a bond. Me and my brother, we go to the gym. That's kind of our thing. So he's big into fitness still lifts every day, still sends me all his videos, all his workouts, stuff like that. So yeah, we had an iron church, which we had a full weight room in the basement. We would go down there during COVID and stuff like that. That's where we would work out, do our things. Then we went to Brown's Gym. My dad lifted for Jim Brown, the owner of Brown's Gym, when he was competing. So it's kind of just always doing it, always staying fit, kind of just keeping yourself better in that aspect. I've been lifting for a long time, before high school. I got really big into it. I want to say my 8th grade year. I got big into it. You could start seeing body changes, and after that kind of happened, you can see yourself getting bigger, stronger. It kind of just felt a passion for it. It's something you can just see improving every day, and you want to see where you can go with that stuff. Most people know about how good I am in the block game. I'm good inline tight end, my hand down, good blocking from the slot and stuff like that. But I think I do have really good routes. Can make people get off me, can get away from a man defender real easily in coverage. I'm a bigger body, so just with some, I didn't have the most opportunities, but I did what I could do with my opportunities. So kind of just I do have a passing aspect to my game. Formally, I met with the Broncos. Informally, I met with definitely every team already from the Senior Bowl, and then I met with maybe 15 teams the other night. Yeah, so when I was at the University of Maryland and Alabama, I got rewards at both for, being the weight room guy. We called it the Iron Man Award. So, it's known that, when I come to the weight room, it's business to me. I enjoy working out. Even if I didn't play football, I would still work out. I enjoy that aspect of it. But yeah, like I said, something that not really known is just, how much of a factor and a threat I could be in the pass game, used the right way. Yeah, definitely. I take a lot of pride in it. Just not that a lot of people can't do it, but I mean, it's just like will and grit power to do it. You know, you gotta stick your face in there, the C gap. It's a man's game down there. SEC especially. You know, I played in the SEC and Big Ten. I consider the SEC, the best conference in college football. So just going week in, week out against some of the top guys, being able to block them, being able to hold my own, kind of just shows that it's like a prideful manner.
What stood about Michigan's defense?
They had a lot of guys not start. They had a lot of guys opt out. But the guys that did play, they played tough. They were still brought together. They played a good game. I'm 0-4 against Michigan. I've lost to them 4 times. But they played a good game. It was like a hats off to them. They had a good game. No, informally, but not formally. Good. Yeah, kind of just talking to the scouts, some of the coaches, and just going about it. They want to know, your football IQ, what you're good at, your character, kind of things like that. Yeah, definitely. Not just in that aspect, but like the tight end position's evolving so much in the NFL. Like this last year, you see a lot of tight ends, taking snaps under center, or you see a lot more 3 tight end sets, or a lot more, 2 tight ends in the field playing at the same time. So I feel like I'm coming into it at the right time where the position's evolving to, like what I grew up, how, playing tight end was. I grew up a Steelers fan, so I watched Freiermuth a lot. Kittle's obviously a big one. Kelsey, you have your big names, but I'm a Mark Andrews fan too from Baltimore. He's been around a while. He does good things, but they all have success in certain areas, but they all do both parts of the aspect in the run, pass game, whatever they need to do at a really high level. I'm from Pennsylvania. My dad was a Steelers fan, so I kind of just got into that. So yeah. I haven't had I had an informal meeting with them in Senior Bowl, but not down here yet. No. Yeah, so Brian Branch left the year I got there. He was in the combine draft and stuff like that. But yeah, I got to play with Terrion for a season. Just a great kid. He's always happy, always smiling. Kind of brings a different life to the party. He's just like someone enjoyable to be around. He's like a nice person to be around. Definitely knows when it's business time. Great athlete, great football player. I'll stay humble, hustle hard. I got it in high school. I'm not saying I wouldn't got it because it was in high school, but kind of just stuff I live by. All my tattoos, I have like a meaning for them. It's either family or, a motto to go by. Kind of just stay true to yourself. I think outside of the football aspect, just like the character I bring to the table, I'm someone who stays true to myself. I want someone to draft me for who I am as a character and as a person rather than, just a football player. Like I don't want to be looked at as just a football player, but someone that, you'd want to be around in the facility, someone that's going to bring like a plus to your team outside of like the football aspect. I watch a lot of them. I watch Kittle a lot just because I don't try to mimic my game after him, but we play kind of a similar role, I would think. He does really good in the blocking game. You see him laughing out there, knocking dudes over and stuff like that. And he's a really good threat in the passing game when he gets his chances. So it's kind of just like, that's where I see I want to be one day. Oh, yeah, awesome. Playing alongside anyone like that, I grew up like a big NFL fan over college football. I didn't really get into college football until I, started to get offers and stuff like that. So, just being on the same team with those guys, being able to learn, being able to have like a good mentor, I think that carries a long way. Yes. No, informally. Good. Yeah, I've talked to him at the Senior Bowl and here. One of the coaches on staff actually recruited me out of when he was at a college, so it's kind of just a familiar face. Coach Z.
What kind of growth did you see from some of those backup quarterbacks like Simpson and Mack?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always next man up mentality. The quarterback position is such a hard thing. It's such a hard thing to fill another role once one leaves, like Jalen. I mean, really like anybody when they leave. But, Ty, stepping up, being able to try to take charge. He's the oldest one in the room. I think he'll do really good things. Austin, he was there that one season. I think he's made tremendous steps to, becoming a great player, becoming a great quarterback.
What about a guy like Danny Lewis Jr.? We see him a lot in the blocking game.
Yeah.
Not so much in the receiving game as much, but it does seem like
Yeah, Danny is a very good all-around tight end. I think he will be super good. Just picking up stuff. I try to give him as much advice. When we first got there, he was kind of quiet. He's really came out of his shell, so I think it's just being comfortable with everything. We had a new tight end coach, Coach Ellis, great coach. I know he'll get him right, and I think they're going to have a great room this season.
How does it feel being at this kind of event, having so many teammates that are also going to be going through this process?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just cool to have familiar faces. Like, excuse me. When we got here a couple days ago, me and Robbie Oots from Alabama were roommates. We've been roommates for 2 years, when we're traveling at games and stuff like that. So, just to have him, is one of my best friends, like a brother to me, always be around me and my family forever. So, kind of just being with him is awesome. We can go through this experience and, talk about it forever. It's nice that we both got invited, both here. Even everyone else, all the other teammates, it's awesome to see them. I know Jihad, Tim, and Q are doing some stuff today. I'm hoping I can get out to the field, watch them today. Jalen goes the day after me. Hope I can get there and watch him.
Is there any element of also it's like a great experience and the friendliness of it? Is there also a little bit more competitive nature of I gotta run faster than this guy?
I'm a big believer in competing against yourself. We've had I've been training at Bomberitos in Davie, Florida, so we do mock combines and stuff like that. And my goal is just to run, jump, bench, do whatever faster or better than I did the last time I did it. I did at the Senior Bowl. I don't believe I did here yet.
You got a chance to play in your time at Reese in your first year at Alabama. What was it like playing under him on the offense?
Yeah, I was excited when Coach Reese got the job. Coach O'Brien just left, and he was coming in from Notre Dame, so they used the tight end position a lot. We ran a lot of, downhill duo run scheme, which we were a big fan of. We ran a lot in the SEC championship, which won us the SEC championship. So I love playing under Coach Reese. I think he has a good philosophy, and I think he's going to do really good in the NFL.
Can you talk a little bit about the experience of getting to play under one of the greatest coaches of all time, Nick Saban?
Yeah.
And also the transitioning away from Saban and new Alabama.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome playing for Coach Saban. Just being around a guy like that is known everywhere in the country it's awesome. It's a great experience. When I entered the portal, I never even had a thought of Alabama or anything like that. I was blessed enough to get an offer from them, and I went down there and I was just like, how in 10 years, how would I look at myself knowing that I didn't go play for Coach Saban, the greatest coach of all time. Luckily I got his last season, which was awesome. So, I can carry that. I played on his last team and stuff like that. We won an SEC championship. And, every day it's just like looking at him after practice. I come from a small town, so, it was like an unbelievable moment for me. I'd be like looking at him like, this guy's real. You only see him on TV or magazines or whatever like that kind of stuff. So it was awesome just being able to see him and be under him for a season. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was really hard getting recruited. Mainly one reason I was playing quarterback in high school, and the area that I played football in didn't get recruited a lot. So me and my dad did a lot of my recruiting. Sending our own stuff out, doing whatever we needed to do, and it panned out great. It was great people from Scranton. I have a few friends back home and stuff like that. So it definitely helped me get here.
I've never seen the humble hustle tattoo.
Oh yeah.
What was the inspiration for that? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I saw it on. I think when I started getting tattoos. I had my first one on my shoulder, and I kind of just looked into like a motivational motto or something that meant a lot to me, and I just thought stay humble, hustle hard, kind of just stay true to who you are, things like that.
Did you see a model of that one before?
Yeah. I forget where I got it. Probably 10th grade, maybe. So yeah.
Now, how many was that your first tattoo?
No, I got 7, I think.
Okay. What age did you start?
I was a freshman, or maybe it was my earlier in sophomore in high school, but it was one of those years. It was just something I always wanted to do. So I know I wasn't 18 yet because I had to have my dad sign off to get it. So it was definitely before that.
That was 100% okay with it?
Yeah. It's something, I put time into it, and they thought as long as, I put time into it and knew what I wanted to get, and it wasn't something that I would regret in the future, that they were all right with it.
What are the other ones you have?
A lot of family things. I have a lion tattoo in the back of my leg. I have one on my leg for someone I know who passed away. Kind of things that just bring out, either family quotes or, people I know. I don't think so. Some people, I have a big line on the back of my calf. It goes from my Achilles up to the back of my knee. So, a lot of people ask me about that or say nice tattoo, but nothing specifically. Yeah, I've talked to them informally. Yeah. The Senior Bowl was awesome. Mr. Nagy, he just got a GM job with Oklahoma. I'm so happy for him. But I'm guessing he's still going to do the Senior Bowl. I don't know. But, he did a great job down there. So, he kind of sets it all up and does those things. I had a great time. We had a blast out there. It was awesome. We do the same thing here, but that was the first time I was able to, the guys we go up against all season, guys I know familiar, or guys from Maryland, guys that I knew from transfer portal or whatever. So it was cool to, build relationships with them. Instead of just seeing them on film or going against them, you can kind of build a rapport with them.
Everybody asks about, NFL comps in terms of who you want to play back. Is there a non-football comp that you're trying to ask a little bit?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Everybody, has their favorite characters that they try to emblematize. Is there one?
Yeah. I do football and I would guess outside of football, kind of Kittle the same way. He's just goofy, man. He's him, and that's how I try to stay true to my character. I'm a people person, love to talk to people. I goof around when time is okay to be goofed around. So it's kind of just being stay true to yourself.
It seems like Wilkin's kind of the next guy up there in that right tackle spot. Can you talk about his a little bit?
Yeah, I think whoever they bring, I don't know who they brought in or anything like that, or if it will be Wilkin. Wilkin's a great player, though. He started early in the season this past season. He had a rough game, and, I think he got a little too harsh from, the outside noise. It's not you got to realize, even though someone's may be that big or, is at a program like that, they're still young. So, going after people like that for a bad game or whatever like that, it's just rough. But he's definitely take growth steps. Wilkins, he's a great person in the locker room too. So, I'm excited to see who steps up. And I do have good belief that it could be him. Big Taco Costa guy. I had Taco Costa once just because I try to stay away I try to eat as healthy as I could. But when I found out, you see the commercials pop up all the time in Tuscaloosa, and it's Wilkin. So, I was like, all right, I'll go try it. And it was solid. I like it. It's nice. They bring it up on, reasons like why I wanted to transfer or, how the process went or how, I was able to pick up new stuff when I got to Alabama, but not necessarily it's a bad thing.
Who's the guy going back that we're not talking about right now, but a year from now we'll talk about that?
Germie Bernard, great player. And there's a lot of players. I would say on the defensive side, Keon Sabb. I think Keon's one of the best defensive players I've ever played in college football. And that's I played a lot of but he just does it really well. And that's obviously in the pass game. I don't block him a lot, but he's a really good player, and he's a good person. Same thing with Germie. Germie's a really good player. He knows how to run his routes, takes business serious, gets on the young guys. He wants the best for himself and the team.
Toughest guy you saw in practice
this past season? I would say Jihad Campbell, definitely tough. I think he is the best player from our team that's in this draft. He is really good. I think what he does, not a lot of people can do. People can't cover, rush the passer, and fill holes like he does. He does that at an extremely high level. Toughest, though, that's tough. Grit toughest that I block in the trench, Tim Smith always did it at a high level. Great player, great player when he gets double teamed and stuff like that. And he always knows how to take care of the team.
How about in the game? Who's the toughest guy you matched up with in the game?
Ever in a game would be Carter from Penn State, definitely a top guy. I played Hutchinson my freshman year. I didn't block him a lot, but I did block him once. I'll never forget that kind of experience. They're both really good players.
What was that transition like running the new system?
It was definitely different. So when I transferred from Maryland to Alabama, Coach Loxley brought the whole Alabama thing up there. It might have been different words and stuff, but it was really easy to pick up the playbook when I got to Alabama. It was very similar to the same exact thing. So when Coach DeBoer came in, that was really my first time having to learn a new offense. You just have to learn how to, process it through your mind. Inside zone, outside zone, still going to be inside zone, outside zone. You may call it different. It might be different tags, but you kind of just have to learn a way that you can process it yourself and learn tricks or little keys that you can get to it.
I don't know how far along you are with the meeting with the teams, is it sort of someone else to be talking and you sort of have to decide
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. It's obviously awesome talking to like head coaches, GMs, and stuff like that, but just coaches or scouts in general, people that just, they wear the league stuff, the clothes, and it's like, oh, you're talking to that team. I grew up a big NFL fan. Like, I watched NFL over college when I was younger, so kind of just being able to see those teams and, have the opportunity to talk to them is definitely awesome. I met with the Commanders during the Senior Bowl informally, like we all did. And then I believe I did the Ravens at the Senior Bowl and a couple days ago here. Again, I was a freshman, so I probably played maybe 15 snaps in that game. I forget really where it was. I started with a few snaps and got more and more as the year got on. But it was definitely like, we all knew he was going to be a first rounder. It's like, man, this is going to be the only first rounder I can remember that like I had to go against, and it was definitely scary. I remember we were running split zone, and I went, and cutting was still legal then, so like I wasn't going to hit him up high. The dude was an animal. And, I went to a cut, and I felt so bad. I went to the sideline, and someone was like, yo, what if you took out his knee? And I felt so bad. I actually DM'd him, and I still have it because someone asked me about it a while ago. Like, I DM'd him like, yo, bro, I'm sorry for trying to cut you and stuff like that. It was crazy.
Did he respond?
No, he didn't.
Do you have a favorite memory from your time in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, even though I guess it wasn't in Tuscaloosa, the SEC championship was kind of surreal. Just being part of a championship, and that was my first season coming out of Maryland, so it's not like, I had championship experience like, most Alabama guys had before I was there. So, just running, like even in Tuscaloosa, like running out the tunnel, walk of champions, just things like that, yeah, you may see it on TV and stuff like that, but to be in it and like know that you're there alongside with the team, you're part of it is, it's just a different feeling.
CJ, what's your favorite play call to hear come in and why?
Say it again?
What's your favorite play call to hear come in and why?
I enjoy everything. Whatever's asked me, I do. Run game, I like duo, vertical block schemes, doubles, getting up to the next level. It's more of like a man's play, one-on-ones, so you could get, the most separation or penetration if it's the other way around. Or, pass plays, sticks, basics, corners, really whatever's going to, be the best option when that team comes. It's hard to like answer questions like that because all teams do different stuff. So I try to think of like certain.
Situation. You're facing somebody who's playing cover 3 match. It's 3rd and 8. The ball's coming to you. What would you like?
Yeah, 3rd and 8. I like to do like an option route at 8 yards. You have the opportunity to hook in, hook out, break out. If you could break in, if that guy breaks outside too far of you, would be awesome. So anything where you have a little room to not run a route just on paper like a robot, but you have a little bit of freedom to find the zone, or if it's man, work the top of those.
No, well, I have one more quick one.
Yep, go for it.
Okay, so clearly you're a student of the game. You love getting into tape. Who was the person that unlocked tape study for you?
This past season, my tight end coach, I had a lot of good tight end coach. Coach Mike Miller, Coach Joe Cox when I was first at Alabama. But Coach Brian Ellis was my last tight end coach there. And, I already understood how to kind of be a pro about stuff. I already understood film and stuff like that. But he broke it down in like a defensive ID. So understanding what's going to go on, like pre-snap ID, safety rotation so much, corner alignment, corner eyes. If that star's inside or outside leverage of the slot guy, is it going to be a blitz? If you have a 6-tech, 9-tech, 7-tech, if you have a 3 shade with that guy, if you have a shade with the 6, kind of just what's going to go on before the snap, and it kind of just slows the game down. You can be ready for, if I have like a chip assignment and I have to stay in for somebody, you can kind of already know what you have to do because you already see the pre-snap alignments.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.